Alright guys, Lord MC here, back again with another video. We have an eventful week so far with earnings, so I wanted to cover some of the indices and blue chip stocks that reported earnings and see where the market might head into coming into a very important Friday with PCE data that comes out early right before open. But before I get into that, I want to preface by saying I am not a financial advisor. None of the things I say in my videos or anywhere else is ever financial advice, so take everything with a grain of salt, do your own research, and come out with your own conclusions. So having said that, let's jump right into the SPY here on the 1 day. SPY had an eventful day. It went as high as 385 before closing the day at 379.98. During after hours, it did fall as low as 373, and that's partly because Amazon reported bad earnings. So that's going to be something to look at coming into tomorrow. But I wanted to cover here SPY on the 3-day real quick, where it's following this bullish deep crab pattern where it wanted to look like it was heading and doing a type 1 reaction up to target 1, which is at 404. It's been having trouble getting above the 21 EMA here, and it's currently just sitting above the 13 EMA. So if this wants to do a type 2 reaction, it will come back down to 357 and then 324. Obviously this will be down the line. This is on the 3-day chart, so this is going to take some time for that to play out. Or if we can continue doing a type 1 reaction to test 404 and possibly target to F433 down the line. But jumping over here to the 1 day where we're currently at, some of the levels of support and resistance coming into tomorrow with PCE data that I think are very important to know is if a SPY continues to come down here, the next level of support would be that 374.67. 374.67 would be inside this trading range where it has traded before, and that's between 374 and 371. If SPY fails 371, it would possibly start going back down to test the lowest 360s. In my opinion, after losing 371, you have some support here at 368, and then finally around 363, 361. That key level of SPY here there, where if it continues coming down, you start looking at testing the low 350s possibly here, like it did back then, back on Thursday of October the 13th, where it did go to 348.11. So you will have to keep an eye on that if it starts coming down, if PCE data is bad. If PCE data is good and the market decides to push up, the next level of resistance would be here at 381. So far in the past couple days, it's been holding pretty strong and just up until today, where it did lose 381, 383. So next level of resistance would be 381, then 385, and then finally if you could push up to 390.19 would be very bullish for SPY, and it would get into this trading range here between 390 and 396. Possibly test target 1 again at 393.84 down the line. But we will keep an eye on that. Something that I think may be a bear trap is the decrease in volume here. It was pretty solid. It was price came down much more than it did yesterday on a decrease in volume, so that's going to be very important to see play out if it's actually indeed a bear trap tomorrow with PCE data. If it is, we can potentially see some crazy movement on the SPY, possibly testing 400 down the line if it wants to, but we will keep an eye on that. Jumping over to the triple Qs, clear some of these drawings here. So the triple Qs did have a bullish butterfly on the daily. It wanted to do a type 1 reaction, but unfortunately it stopped short of 289.07, and it finished the day at 277.87 today, where it did fall down negative 1.82% for the day. So the next level of support here, if the triple Qs, the Nasdaq decides to come back down, is 265.05 and then hop at 256. Otherwise, the next level of resistance, if you're looking to play this long, would be to come back above 275 and then the 50 EMA at 283, and then 289 at target 1, and then down line at 306. So we will keep out on that. It is decreasing volume the past 2 days, so that's something to keep an eye out for PCE data coming into tomorrow. Jumping over to the Dow Jones, The Dow Jones did have and they finished the day at 320.46. The Dow Jones is usually the index, one of the first out of the three indices to finish its move before the other two follow. So coming with up with the Dow Jones here, it did generate here on a butterfly here on the 1 day, and it did a perfect, beautiful type 1 reaction here up to target 2. So now it got showed some resistance here at the 50 EMA where the target 2 was at 322. So if it wants to come back and test hop, the next level of support you have on the Dow Jones is where target 1 is at 309.97. Maybe you could look at 312 where the 9 EMA is, and then 309. Then you get some chop. The last point of support here is at 307 before coming back down to test 290, and then later down the line 283.99. So RSI still has some room to go to the upside. HSI is approaching over, it's a little bit of overbought, and AMP RSI as well. So this could potentially start maybe test a 200 SMA here. If PCE data comes in bullish, 326 would be a key level of resistance if we go to the upside. On the weekly here, the weekly they did test the 50 EMA at 323, so we'll keep your eye out on that if data is bullish for PCE tomorrow. Jumping over to the VIX real quick. So the VIX here, I know it's hard to chart the VIX, but it is below 30, right? So it's been on a downtrend here. So if we are to track this on this bearish bat pattern, the next level of support would be at 25.96, and then possibly target 2 at 23.34. In my opinion, if you can get this VIX to come at least 24, that would be a little bit bullish for the market. We want to get the VIX somewhere between 19 and 20 to have some type of bull trend in the market, but we are still far away from that. But we are in a clear downtrend, so if PCE data comes in a little bit bullish tomorrow, we could potentially see the markets rip, especially if the VIX comes down. So jumping over to Amazon. Amazon had an eventful day. It's been following this bat pattern here on the daily, where most of the blue chip stocks, by the way, have generated patterns on the 1 day and have done their type 1 reaction. Amazon is one of those. So when it generated the completion of point D here, did a type 1 reaction, a beautiful type 1 reaction to test target 1 at 121.09. You don't have to go to type 1 reaction to test target 2. A type 1 reaction just to test target 1 is sufficient. So now it looks like it wants to come down. Right now it has, I guess you can call this a gap here, small gap. Let me draw this out real quick. Has a small gap here to fill. So Amazon did close at 110.96. It did go as far as low as I believe $96, $87 during after hours, right? After hours did close at 96.84. So it went below XA here at 107.54, right? It even went below hop. Let me see if I could turn that on for you guys so you guys can see the 4 hour. Yeah, so 87.72 where it tested here. Let's go back to the 1 day. So Amazon reported bad earnings and it fell way below hop here at 96.31. If we could jump over to the 1 week, maybe we have some type of pattern here. It did bounce up at 96.84, so that's very, very bearish for the market, right? Amazon holds a lot of weight, so you will have to keep an eye out on that. So if we're playing Amazon to the upside, like I said, we have to come back to test $96 because it's currently 96.84. So we're currently above here, so we want to test 107, get above 107 on XA, and then see if we can get above here at 115. I do think that if PCE data comes in a little bit bullish, we may have a little market melt up, but that's just my opinion. It doesn't have to happen. Bad earnings on Amazon is very concerning, so we will keep an eye out on that. Jumping over to Tesla. I believe Tesla is on the 2 day. So Tesla just finished the day at 225.09. It went as high as 233. So the next level of resistance, if you're playing along here on Tesla, is it's inside this trading range, where the next level of resistance would be at, call it 234, and then 236, where it's been trading on this trading range before. So if we can break above 236, you're looking at 240, and then possibly down the line start testing this gap up here between 256 and 260. Otherwise, if it loses where it's currently at 225.09, the next level of support would be 223.79 and then 215.95. Losing 215.95, you start looking back again at the 200s. Jumping here, I believe, yeah, if you lose 208.79, you're looking at not 190, 187, 188. It did fall this week as low as 198. Fell short of testing the 200 EMA on the weekly, but that's still a possible case scenario should PCE data come in bad. So we will keep an eye out on that. Jumping over to Apple. So Apple, like I said, some of the indices, some of the blue chip stocks have done their type 1 reaction, Apple being one of them, where it did start the type 1 reaction to test target 1. It went as high this week as 152.49, fell short of the 50 SMA, and now it's looking like it wants to come back down to test do a type 2 reaction. Apple did report good earnings, so that kind of held up the market a little bit. So we will see if Apple can hold up the market coming in tomorrow. So the next levels of support and resistance, should the market start to decide to go up, there's resistance up over here between 146. If it can get above 147, you're looking at 148.05. I would like Apple to be trading at above 148.05, where there's established trading range here between 148 and 153. 148.05, you're looking at the next level of resistance at 149.65, and then target 1 at 150.33. If PCE data is a little bit bullish, you can possibly start looking at target 1 and then at 153.10, where I have this level here where it's been broken down from. We can start looking at possible 160 down the line. Should PCE data come bad tomorrow, you start looking at the next level of support is at 136.60. So we will keep an eye out on that. I know during after hours it did test 136 exactly on the dot, 136, so it did come down below here. So luckily it did finish closing and after hours at 145.40. So we will see what PCE data comes out tomorrow. But that's all I have for you guys. Just in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I do think there's a bear trap. I think inflation is kind of slowing a little bit, but I could be wrong. It just, to me, it looks like a bear trap. It looks exactly like it was playing out like back in the last rally, right? You got bear traps here and push up. You got a push exactly right here. Bears got trapped here, push up. Bears got trapped here, push up. Bulls here came up, and then we had decrease in volume. This could be a trap or continuation to maybe next week, and we rip next week, but who knows? It's all dependent on PCE data. You are forming here another W here, so we will see coming into tomorrow. So that's all I have for you guys. I will be streaming tomorrow morning early, possibly even a little bit earlier than I normally do. Want to see what PCE data comes out, so if you are interested in joining the stream, the link is in the description box below. So I'll be roughly 15 minutes before PCE data comes out. So having said that, you guys have a good rest of your day. If you like this type of content, please consider giving me a like, subscribing to the channel. It does really help me out. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and good luck, guys. Peace.